Amber Lee Hughes found guilty of child rape and premeditated murder. Police seize Ak-47s as gang violence surges in Cape Town. And a nation mourns, remembering EWN's powerhouse, Tshidi Madia.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent.
Hello, I'm Jane Dutton. Father of murdered 4-year-old Nada Jane Khayelitsha says no prison sentence will ever bring his daughter back. Khayelitsha was speaking outside the Johannesburg High Court after judgment in the child's murder trial was handed down. The court found his ex-partner, Amber Lee Hughes, guilty of the premeditated murder and rape of the child.
It doesn't bring her life back. She lost her life. There we found her guilty, or we never found her guilty. There she's guilty. That doesn't bring my child back. Nothing will bring her back. So it's a feeling mixed of anger and relief, and it's just mixed emotions, you know.
Judge Robert Mkabela says Amber Lee Hughes had planned to murder the child. He added, according to the evidence handed over to the court, Hughes also raped her by inserting foreign objects into her private parts.
So we hope that the father will also find closure now that we've reached the stage, and going forward as the NPA, we will be arguing for a sentence that will send a message that this type of behavior cannot be tolerated.
Police have confiscated 3 AK-47 assault rifles in Cape Town in less than 3 days. The most recent, by the anti-gang unit in Delft, comes as gang violence in Cape Town continues to claim the lives of gang members and innocent residents almost daily. 2 more AK-47s along with 2 9mm pistols were found in Gugulethu and Khayelitsha yesterday and on Tuesday. The Khayelitsha Marathon will go ahead, though, as planned next weekend. There were concerns the race might be cancelled due to taxi-related violence in the area. A taxi driver was killed at the Vuyani taxi rank in Khayelitsha on Monday, and 2 others were wounded when 2 armed men opened fire. More than 1,000 runners are expected to take part in the 5 and 10-kilometre races hosted at the Mandela Park Stadium on Sunday, the 7th of September.
We've got Metro Police on board, we've got the law enforcement, and we've got police that are going to be part of the event just to ensure security of the runners and the event itself. And also we've got city traffic ensuring that runners are safe on the road.
International Relations Minister Ronald Lamola has slammed the US Americana migration program, calling it Apartheid 2.0. He says South Africa won't allow fast-tracked immigration for white Afrikaners under false claims of persecution. This follows reports the US is moving Kenya-based staff to process these applications.
It's a preferential treatment of Afrikaners in South Africa to enter the US. And you know, with our history of our country, a preferential treatment of a particular privileged group, the Afrikaners who are not running away from any genocide in this country, is definitely Apartheid 2.0.
Lamola also says the G20 summit will go ahead with or without Trump. South Africa has entered the final 100 days of its G20 presidency, with more than half of the planned meetings already concluded. As preparations ramp up for the Leaders' Summit in November, it remains unclear if US President Donald Trump, expected to assume the presidency next, will attend. Foreign ministers will meet on the sidelines of the UN General Assembly next month, while key sessions on food security and industrialization are set for Egypt and Nigeria. The Gauteng Health Department is urging parents to protect their children against the ongoing measles outbreak and calling on parents to sign consent forms which will allow their children to be vaccinated at schools. The 6-week campaign began on the 4th of August and will run until the 12th of September. Since January, Gauteng has reported more than 400 confirmed measles cases. The department says it's important for parents to understand that measles is a highly contagious disease that can lead to severe complications.
So far, we've already covered over 900,000 children that have been vaccinated. However, we are extremely concerned that the uptake is not at the rate that we wanted. Hence, we're making this further call for parents and guardians to understand that measles is a highly contagious disease.
A key witness in the Lusikisiki mass murder case has revealed that accused number 1, Tshidi Madia, the alleged mastermind behind the mass killing, was able to commit crime while behind bars. The witness was a co-accused in the murder case but turned state witness after making a plea deal with investigators. He's currently testifying in the murder trial of the 18 people shot and killed in Lusikisiki in September last year. Taxi commuters in parts of Katlehong and Germiston have been left stranded after Santaco suspended operations. The move follows tensions over the impounding of 10-seater baby buses. Operators say they're being unfairly targeted, fined thousands, and denied licenses no longer issued by the government.
This unequal treatment by law enforcement places a disproportionate burden on the taxi industry. The halting of taxi operations is a necessary measure to prevent the continued victimization and financial exploitation of our members.
In the US, 2 children were killed and 17 others wounded when a heavily armed shooter opened fire during a school mass at Annunciation Church in Minneapolis. Police say 23-year-old Robin Westman, a former student, fired through church windows before dying by suicide. The FBI is investigating the attack as a hate crime and act of domestic terrorism. And in the UK, award-winning British actor Michael Ward, known for starring in the Netflix series Top Boy, appeared before a London court today to face rape and sexual assault charges. The 27-year-old, who's among the cast of the Hollywood movie Eddington alongside Joaquin Phoenix and Pedro Pascal, was charged last month with 5 counts. In a statement at the time, he denied all the charges, which include 2 counts of rape, 2 counts of assault by penetration, and 1 count of sexual assault against one woman in January 2023. He didn't enter a plea today and was granted conditional bail. It's been a day filled with tributes and memories for EWN's politics associate editor, Tshidi Madia, who passed away on Wednesday at the age of 42 after a short illness. Friends, colleagues, and political figures have remembered her as a bold and courageous journalist. Madia made a lasting impact through her political commentary across prime media platforms, including her podcast, Politricking with Tshidi Madia. She also occasionally hosted shows like The Midday Report and The Clement Manyatela Show, and covered events for EWN TV.
Sister Bettina. All right.
For many who knew her, this is how they remembered Tshidi Madia: warm, funny, and always lightening a room, even when holding power to account. Her career spanned broadcast, print, and digital platforms, most recently as associate political editor at Eyewitness News. Madia was known for asking the tough questions that cut through political spin.
When you came in,
Yes.
you made a ton of promises.
That there has never been a single person who left the DA who wasn't sorry afterwards.
I wonder about that. I think if you go to Action and say, you'll get a very different answer.
She brought the same fearlessness to her podcast, Politricking with Tshidi Madia, where presidents, party leaders, and international figures faced her direct yet human line of questioning.
Thank you so much for your messages of support.
Tshidi Madia leaves behind a generation of journalists and audiences whose lives she touched. Mongi Zikoko, Eyewitness News.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent.